Hello, we're back on your favorite talk shop, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where the bloody hell may. And as we say all the time, folks, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And our final promise that we have given the notorious clique of gendarmes is actually, whatever you do this time, dear, good for good too. We shall demolish your gendarme with the truth. We're dead. and the last thing I say on this note, and you know what is coming, I can imagine the minute this show starts, you guys start even quoting everything I say even before I talk. But anyway, the last thing I'll say is that what time is it? And of course, your answer is always the same, man. It is nation time. It is nation time. We're going to build this nation, man. And before I talk about anything today, I was reading the comments. And well, I've been reading comments plenty, you know. But I've been reading some comments about KSM. There are many people who do not speak Twi. You have to do the show in Twi and explain. Somebody said we have older people in the villages. Some think B. So do the show in Twi. And then someone came up and said, hey, Charlie, slow down. She's saying, me, I don't speak Twi. What about Ga? What about Eve? What about, you know? So it was interesting reading that, you know. But those who were saying I should speak Twi were saying that sometimes or many times the English that I speak will not go down to the grassroots. So, Twi, you know. And the people, but here's the thing. Our program reaches many people, not even just Ghanaians. So I know Gambians who send me letters. I know Nigerians, Kenyans. They're all watching, so I can understand why that the communication must remain in English. But listen to this. My producer says maybe once a week we'll throw in an episode in Twi. It's not replacing TalkShop English, you know. It ain't replacing. We threw an episode in Twi, you know, and I didn't even know what to do until he came up with the topic for the Twi one. Your friend eject them. Eject them, fire the inside. I said, well, I like the topic. Oh, okay, you know. But anyway, to cut a long story short, eject them will be coming your way. I don't know when soon, but that will be some small part of Twi that we think will help in the communication. But the English one stays. No question about that. The English one will stay. Okay? And I also like to thank many of you who have written, especially very, very happy with Bridget Tutu and how she came up and explained so many things. And many of you are very thrilled to hear many of the things she said. So thank you very much. I see you are really, really tuned in. I just want to ask you to share some more. Pass the word. This word must go out, you know. And Bridget said something quite interesting, that they actually believe that right now the people who are actually feeling the benefits of whatever the government is doing now, they are the ones campaigning. So that's why, you know, they are not out there, but people are feeling it.
So one of the best things that's happened to the NDC government is that Ghanaians themselves have become ambassadors for the government. If you're doing so well, you don't have to even shout, stand on the roof and shout. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I will come back to that, but I just want to make that point. And that is, I mean, look at the economy. Before we took over, the NPP did say that we cannot keep the lights on. We can't run the economy. The economy was on junk status.
Yeah, people heard on TV promising that we're going to get to doom so.
We cannot run the economy. Things were just on the upward trajectory. So that turnaround, that what they consider sudden turnaround, has shocked everyone. So you have Ghanaians themselves who are out there saying that, look, I used to buy a gallon, the 25 liters of oil for 980 cedis, some say 1,000 cedis, but now it's 680 cedis, some places 580 cedis. That is real money in people's pockets. I used to buy maize for this. Those ones, you don't need communication. You don't even need to package anything to go and say it. People are seeing it because the economy is working, and so there is money in people's pockets. And those are the people who are going to queue and vote for the NDC again in 2028.
But you know something I want to tell folks out there, and also to my dear Bridget if is listening. I should have brought it when she was saying, but it's here I'm a dream. You know, back in the day when we were growing up at Czech, there was a tree saying that Ahwene Pankasa. Ahwene Pankasa, which means if you have a precious jewelry, that the preciousness speaks for itself. That Ahwene doesn't have to talk. And I think it's similar in English. They say empty barrels make the most noise. Because when the barrel is full and it's a substance and is rolling, it doesn't make any noise. And when it's empty, you know. But folks, that has changed though. Trust me, if you go by the theory now that Ahwene Pankasa, so you are quite, the Ahwene will speak for itself, no, you'll be overtaken. Because we have reached an era in this generation that you must understand that you must learn how to blow your trumpet. I'm telling you. Yeah, Ahwene Pankasa. I remember long ago when ads started coming on TV. Long ago, I saw the first ad on Ghana TV. I think most of you were not born. And I remember when my mother saw the ad, I actually think, do you know Sprite, the drink, the Sprite drink? The first ad on TV that I saw was Sprite. Do you know my mother's comment? Hey, the microphone talk. You know, the idea was that if you have to advertise, it's because people are not buying or patronizing it. That was the old school. This time, no matter how much you're patronizing, you still have to be out there. You have to showcase yourself. You have to talk. You have to talk about your brand. Otherwise, Coca-Cola will not do any advert. The whole world, everybody drinks Coca-Cola. But still, if you see the budget for Coca-Cola to advertise, it will shock you. You know, I'm saying all of this to advise the NDC that never ever think that because you think you're doing good and people are saying the good things, you can now chill. No. In politics, dear, you have to keep the word out there and show what you're doing. Well, that's just for it. But today, I just want to quickly talk about Akwatia. Akwatia is exciting, and this is the exciting part of Akwatia. Here are the facts. The fact is, no matter what happens in Akwatia, the substance of what we have in Parliament doesn't change. In other words, NDC can say that we can even afford to lose Akwatia and nothing happens. After all, the seat didn't belong to us. Nothing will happen. And the NPP too. The NPP knows that if they win, it doesn't change anything. If the NPP wins, the NDC will still have the 2/3 majority. They will still be the majority, and they will do what they can with the 2/3 majority, and it doesn't change anything. So you ask yourself, wow, this is interesting. So what is the value of Akwatia now? The result that will come from Akwatia does not affect anything. So what is the value? Let me tell you what the value is. The value is this. Right now, if the NDC should win Akwatia, it gives them a certain psychological strength and boost. Say, hey, now that we know that wherever we have an election in this country, we will win. That is the psychology. Say, Chale, right now, the party has become so popular that it doesn't matter. And we are confident that wherever we are going to win. Especially in an NPP stronghold. Do you see the kind of confidence that will convey to the NDC that we don't need the vote? We can actually afford not to have it. We didn't even have it before. We are in parliament as a supreme majority without them. We don't have it. It's an NPP stronghold. But if we're able to get into that stronghold and win, it's a major psychological boost for the NDC in terms of how they position themselves as being the most attractive party. And similarly, in a way, the NPP too, they know that one seat will not do anything to really affect the fortunes of their power in parliament. That they know. Oh, they know that, you know. But there too, there is a psychological thing for the NPP. Is that, wow, if we don't take time and we lose this, the signal is that, Charlie, to say that we are so unattractive. The party has become so unattractive that even in an area that used to be a stronghold cry has fallen to the NDC. So now we are goners. That's what all the fight in Akwatia is about, too. Honestly, it's not about anything. It's going to be so expensive, though, because the amount of policemen that are being sent there. You know, I did a show once, and I think when I do my Ejadem, I'll probably do a little bit of a translation of that show into my Ejadam, the Tree Show, when I was advising the political parties and the followers how they can conduct themselves and let Akwatia lead the way in showing Ghana that, yes, election will be war. We can have a peaceful election in this country. And isn't it interesting that this is the election that will not add or take any value at all from the representation in parliament regarding the NDC and the NPP? It won't add or take anything away in terms of the numbers, but in terms of the psychological impact, it is going to add or take away a lot. You know, it's going to add or take away a lot. So that is why we have that tension. And the irony of it is we have a tension in an election that normally would not have meant anything in terms of the numbers. But this is the first time we're going to an election, in a by-election, in one area that is going to speak volumes in terms of what the psychological power of each party is. You know, so that's why that election has become so important. I mean, NPP made a smart move. They said, listen, we are backing off Tamale. We are backing off, hoping that the NDC will reciprocate and say, okay, fine, if you have left Tamale for us, then we also will leave Akwatia for you. I think that was the chess move they made. Say, you know, let's checkmate the NDC. We have made this move. You two reciprocate.
Tamale Central, one issue statement. Say, Druha Munkobi, the Damasi. Say, Bio, say, Ubibebu Ama, Wajao Nine. Say, wow, Ayane Sukoja Nine for Quan. No, I simple. Into your Damasi. But Akwatia, yeah,
But guess what? You know, NPP is pulling out of Tamale because of the margins, and they realized that possibly it's not possible to win. NDC, however, even though it was the NDC that lost in Akwatia, are deciding that they will not pull out. They lost in Akwatia, but not that by that great margins. But as I said, the NDC wants to prove that they have become that attractive. They have become that attractive that now they can even go into an NPP area and win. So that's why it is so tight. So we are all looking forward to whatever will happen in Akwatia, whether it's the NDC candidate and we'll talk more about them later, you know. I think he's a lawyer, or the NPP candidate. I think he said he was a treasurer or something for the party, and he served the party very, very well. We'll be talking about that as time goes on. But there it is, so folks. That election, that seems like, oh, it's a small by-election. No, it is actually a very, very, very significant election, to the extent that it's going to reflect to the people of Ghana where the power lies. And NPP can come back and say, yes, we still have power. We are still attractive. We have held on to our seat. We still got it, man. And NDC also wants the bragging rights to say, hey, now you are not attractive. We have now come and taking over your seat. So there we go, folks. So we sit there and watch. But it will be very, very interesting to see what the results are. But at the end of the day, whatever the result, folks, election will be war. Election will be war. Whatever the results. And so that's why I did a show about that other time about let's do it and make it peaceful. And let's surprise Ghana, Akwatia, more Shoko Ghanaians with a very clean, peaceful election that people are anticipating will never happen. But it's up to you to shock Ghanaians. Yeah, folks, so that was just a quick one, man. Just a look at Akwatia. But we'll come back and do a more interesting show on it as the time goes closer. But today, let's chill, you know. Let's chill on this. And please expect Ejadem to be coming on. And understand this. It is never going to replace TALKSHOP in English. That is forever. So until then, we will meet again and talk about Ghana. And don't forget, the target is how we build our nation. No matter what, that's the end goal, man. We have to build this nation. See you all later.